What's up, Starcraft fans? You are watching a co-op mutation. I am CTG and we're doing Battle Hardened on Chain of Ascension. I played as Abathur. My masteries were Med Healing Duration this time, Symbiote Ability Improvement, and Toxicness Maximum Charges on Cooldown. So let's go to the replay. My ally, Hunter, played as Dehaka. And you can watch his replay, you can watch his view of the game in the link in the description below. Or maybe in the comments below. I'm not sure which one they'll do yet at this point. But while we're waiting for the loading screen, a big thank you to Zachary, my patron. If you want to help support the channel, there's a link down in the description below to my Patreon thingy. Anyway, the mutators are Missile Command, Inspiration, and Hardened Will. Missile Command will have missiles flying from all directions, from the edges of the map, into our buildings. Initially they will do 100 damage and the missiles themselves have 10 health. That means we can and should shoot them down. But of course in the early game we have no choice but to tank them. Hardened Will gives enemy heroic units a hardened shield buff, where they will reduce all incoming damage to 10 as long as they have an enemy, as long as there is an enemy unit nearby. That includes missiles. You can see I'm putting down the toxic nests there, so we can draw the enemies into them and provide me biomass as well as damage output. Yeah. So I get a roach, so that I can get a fast ultimate evolution by drawing the enemy into the toxic nests. Okay, my ally looks like he's gonna expand, so I put down some toxic nests near his expansion so he can draw the enemies there. There's added damage, but it looks like the toxic nests are taking a while to build. However, he does lure them here. You can see they're not there anymore. And these ones are about to finish. There we go. Meanwhile, I'm sending my roach over here to draw more enemies. Use Med. The reason I took Med Mastery is because in the beginning part, it does heal all the damage that the missiles do to my buildings. So it's a good way to temporarily fight the missiles. You can just out-heal them in the early part of the game. Of course, later on there will be more stuff that hit, so I'll rely more on spore crawlers later on. So we're just cleaning up the buildings for now, and I also want to take my expansion, which is why I'm sending my Mutalisks here and letting my ally know that they are there, so he doesn't have to clean up everything. Yeah, that's close enough. All right. Send some or send a unit to, or start our spire rather, and now send drones there to take my expansion. Let's start clearing out the base here. Of course, it's always smarter to start chipping away from the corner so that there are fewer units attacking your base. I send my Mutalisk here to take care of these roaches, and that significantly weakens them by walking them into the toxic nest. My ally is also using my toxic nest, and he used the leap to finish off the weakened roaches. From my understanding, they don't have to be killed by the toxic nests to be they don't have to be killed by the toxic nests to provide extra biomass. All they need to do is be damaged by the toxic nests. My ally is starting Mervar's Den. That's good. I start my infestation pit in the meantime so I can get my hive. Just clearing this out. And use Med to keep healing my dudes. I walk this other roach to collect the biomass. There we go. Now I have a second Brutalisk incoming. And now that this area is cleared up, I can start putting down the toxic nests over here. Of course we have to support Janagger, because she's gonna nag us if we don't. Also the missiles support Amon's champion, so unless we keep pushing, she will get knocked into the pit by those missiles. There we go, we have pushed them forward. Now we can actually keep pushing her because we have 2 Brutalisks, and these toxic nests will be enough to take care of the hybrids that will spawn.
Allied forces are under attack.
And you can see in a few seconds that we will in fact push her forward enough that these will start spawning, like so.
Massive psionic power flows into Amon's champion from the hybrids.
I draw more of these roaches into the toxic nests and finish them off,
Amon's worshippers are augmenting their champion's power.
like so. My ally also uses Glevig to start dealing splash damage to this air hybrid. Dehaka also devoured one of those hybrid, which is the low health. If you're Dehaka, you also want to devour the lowest health units. And if you have to devour the hybrid, misteleported. But anyway, if you're Dehaka, you always want to devour the lowest health units. And if you need to devour a hybrid, you ought to damage it first, to the point where it has low health before you devour it. Ally uses Mervar to start clearing this area. That's good. He also teleported Glevik here, but the unfortunate thing is that the disabled cloud is well, it doesn't seem to be preventing. Never mind then. Yeah, it seems like Glevig's not affected by disabled cloud. That's honestly something I only discovered just now. Start my hive, so I can get the last tier of upgrades, and I start a few spore crawlers to start doing damage to the missiles. Ally keeps pushing forward, so I'll support him. Starting to get a gas bank, which is gonna be pretty useful later on when I start getting my air units. There's an enemy attack wave coming over there.
Allied forces are under attack.
Dehaka meanwhile is devouring the psionic units, which is good. This is how you're supposed to play Dehaka, especially against Zerg. They have a lot of spellcasters, and you should devour these spellcasters. You should devour this. Oh, probably misclicked. But yeah, he should devour those psionic units because they give Dehaka a magic fart attack, which will allow him to damage all the nearby enemy units.
I sent several elementals nearby.
Start a few more spore crawlers.
Silence them if you have the forces to spare. Psionic support from the hybrids turns the tide in
Now I will teleport my
Put an end to it now.
Brutalisks to that location near the hybrid, so I can push forward with my army. Dehaka's leading, and now my ally uses the Grunt to take out a bunch of the ground units there, and they're pushing with my Brutalisks to help damage the hybrids. I also have toxic nests here, which will damage the ground units. Now my army is flying in to help take care of the last hybrids. A good job by my ally. He's helped out a lot in clearing out that base. Now I get a bunch of static defense all around my base, as is my ally. Out healing the missiles is good, but we also need stuff to shoot them down to prevent them from reaching our base in the first place.
Allied forces are
I
under
got a
attack.
couple of overseers to help detect. While the main army pushes forward, and you can see I'm starting to place toxicness on this or just above this ramp because this is where the third set of hybrid will spawn. We will want to intercept those, so that we can deal as much damage as possible and reduce the escort of the hybrid. So we just fly around that.
Allied forces are under attack.
Okay, we free up our dudes first, like so, and now we move in, take care of that bonus. It's slain elemental.
How amusing.
Amusing.
One of your warriors is trapped in the elemental's cocoon.
It's done.
How long can they
It's
survive
done. It's not a
without you
problem.
taking them out? It seems Amon's lackeys are moving toward their champion. Intercept them.
Get a few more drones
Base under attack.
to warp or to morph into spore crawlers. Ally is getting these Mutalisk upgrades, Primal Constitution, which will allow us Mutalisks to survive longer, or to I believe to respawn after they take their initial fall. I send these overlords to help support Janagar. The awesome thing about Abathur's symbiotes before is that they shoot really fast, so they can counteract a lot of the point defense drones that the missiles send, or that that escort the missiles. You can see I'm still putting down static defense, or toxic nests in particular. And now I start 18 more Mutalisks, and that puts me up to 124 supply, which puts me in a really powerful state. Just send my overseers. Yeah, I am supporting. It's just that the missiles also support the enemy.
Amon's hybrids are
Clean up this base.
strength. They must be
Meanwhile, you can see that my toxicness took care of a large part of that army. This huge glob of biomass is a proof of that. I also use Mend to help keep my Brutalisk alive, and of course that one low health Brutalisk is immediately retreated. More Mutalisks flying in, help finish off the enemy. I warp in, I deep tunnel my Brutalisks to the last base, so I can start camping that location with toxic nests.
eliminate them if you have the strength to spare.
For those who don't know, the last wave spawns here and here, and the hybrid will spawn here. So if I camp these locations, I will drastically reduce their escorts and allow me to clean up. There's a nuke heading over here, which I think my ally will help take care of it. There we go. What's happening? While that's happening, my ally is also gathering a bunch of Hydralisks here to morph into Mutalisks. He's also heading here to help me clean up this late elemental. I've almost actually taken care of it. We're just freeing up the Mutalisks that were trapped before taking care of this, which my ally does.
Destroyed all of the elementals in the surrounding area. Your penchant for
Now I start more spore crawlers all around the base to A, spend my mineral bank, and B, help protect me against the missiles.
Found something to chew on.
Put down more toxicness over there. I just get all of these spore crawlers.
These rebels have an entrenched position up ahead. You must destroy their encampment if I am to end this farce.
No, they don't. No, they don't.
Enemy replicants are headed toward their champion.
I don't see anything.
Kill them all.
All right, we're heading off to the last base now. But of course, we still need to support Janagar, and the Overlord speed upgrade is not quite complete yet. So I send back a Leviathan to help support Janagar. Of course, my army is going to be very strong, and we will be able to deal
Awaits Amon's
with the hybrid.
Maintain your psionic support, and I shall deliver them.
There we go. Here they spawn. You can see they drop right on top of my toxic nests. Here's the second set. They also drop right on top of my toxic, and immediately they're destroyed. And I did watch Hunter's video for this. He did have a severe frame drop, whereas I've also dropped 20, which is a bit low, but still you can still kind of see what's happening. and immediately we've taken care of the last wave.
Looks like you're
GG. There it is.
And so ends Rak'Shir. What a
Alright, hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for watching. If you have an idea for what else we can do, please leave that in a comment. And here we can see the score screen. I had almost double my allies' kills. There are a few reasons for this. A, I put down toxic nests in the spawn of in the spawn and path of the enemy, and my ally did help by drawing the enemies into the toxic nests. B, I got my army pretty early on. Although I only had my 3 Brutalisks by the time of the first set of or by the time of the second set of hybrid, I did have toxic nests, and my Mutalisks were on the way, and I did start aggressively clearing out the map when I did get my Mutalisks much earlier than my ally. Finally, I put down a bunch of spore crawlers all around my base, which helped clear out the missiles. Alright. Again, a big thank you to Zachary, my Patreon patron, who is supporting me at the Pulse Cannon level. If you want to help out and support the channel, the link to my Patreon is on the right. See you.